So as you can see, not the usual setting. Down at the beach today. One of my kids, they're swimming in a provincial championship, so proud of them down in Durban. Just watching them, doing a quick match report on the Ireland-Wales game. What a game that was. I don't know if my audio is going to be good. There's a bit of a breeze. Anyway, I hope you guys can hear me alright, and hope you can see some good sets rolling, and surfers have got something to work with today. So maybe I'll do it like that. So first off, what a game. I thought it was a great game, Wales and Ireland. Tempo, intrigue. It wasn't one-sided. On the Welsh game, I thought they'd have more energy this week. New coach, new era. I thought there'd be a bit of enthusiasm, and I think there was. They had a good energy about them. And so I sort of expected that. What I wasn't sure of was the rhythm on attack that we saw there. They had a good rhythm on attack. So I don't know if it's only Anscombe that's come in, or if it they just had a lot more freedom to play. They seem to have a bit of freedom to play. In fact, I think in the end they probably played a little bit too much. Probably had one or two passes that they should have just held on to, and just been a bit more patient, a bit more composed. Played one or two more phases, and make sure they actually get points once they get into that Irish 22. But overall, what a good performance from Wales. They looked so much better on attack, and there was a real, almost like an anticipation, for this new era. And so I'm happy for them. They played well. And Ireland, they're just the best attacking team in the world. They really are the best attacking team. They are phenomenal at recycling the ball. The accuracy at playing on the advantage line, playing flat with defenders in their face, their composure under that pressure is incredible. They are the best attacking team in the world. And so, Ireland, full credit goes to them. They are the best attacking team in the world. And I'll tell you what, they are the most streetwise team in the world when it comes to the breakdown. I think they get away with a little bit there. They remind me of the New Zealand of old. They get away with a lot at the breakdown, subtly, sometimes not so subtly, but they are the best breakdown team in the world as well. And those two things make it very hard to beat Ireland. That, as well as they've got some world-class players. We're going to get to that in a minute. So, some other points. The Welsh scrum. How good was that Welsh scrum? Nicky Smith, Elliot D, and my favourite of the Welsh front row he's got a great moustache, John. So I thought that Welsh front row was incredible. Brand new front row, and they gave the Irish a hiding at scrum time. Haven't seen that in a while, and so I think they got 4 scrum penalties. It's an interesting thing that happened there in the first half, where Nicky Smith's gum guard pinged and they had to take him off for a head impact assessment or head injury assessment, HIA. And while he was off the field, the Irish got a scrum penalty, and they actually kicked 3 points as a result of that. So that was interesting, because Nicky Smith was adamant. We'll take a look at that video now. He was adamant there's nothing wrong, and this gum guard is faulty. And so it'll be interesting to see. Maybe an Irishman was in charge of the analytics and the data regarding those gum guards. Who knows? That's a bit of a joke. But Welsh scrum, full marks to them. Man, they were good. They gave the Irish a hiding, and I was surprised to see that, to be honest. I rated the Irish scrum as, with them and the French, probably the best 2 scrums in the Six Nations. Although the English gave the French a hiding too, but overall I thought those were the 2 strongest scrums. And well done, Wales. You guys gave them a hiding at scrum time. Other things, key moments for me in the game. Jamison Gibson Park got a jackal. I think the score was 18-all on the edge there, and the Welsh was strong on attack there. And he's just a little nuggety player. Got in there, got the jackal, got the steal at a really crucial time to halt that Welsh momentum. The rugby games, there's a lot of ebbs and flows, momentum, and when your opposition's got the momentum, and you've got world-class players that can do magic things while the opposition's got the momentum, to swing that momentum back in your favour. That's what wins you test matches. And Jamison Gibson Park's one of those players. He's right up there with the best scrum halves in the world. So composed with the ball, great tactical kicking, and super impressed with him. So 2 key moments for me were both in the second half. Jamison Gibson Park got that turnover, and then the other one was a counter ruck. I think I made a note of that, the timeline. There's 76 minutes. The Irish made a great decision. As I said, they're the smartest team at the breakdown. Counter-rucked in another crucial juncture. I think the Welsh were behind by 6 points then, and they were attacking, good momentum, and they could have built nicely there to go try and score. And the Irish were just so sharp. If you are just off, you can't have one soft ruck. You can't have one soft breakdown. They'll counter-ruck you, they'll steal the ball, they'll spoil it for you. So you can't switch off for a moment against this Irish team, especially at the breakdowns. And so they're very smart in the way they target the breakdowns. You'll see they don't often hit shoulders. They'll hit you in the ribs, they'll hit you on the hips. They sort of swim and slide around those guys stealing the breakdowns. And if they see you looking up, looking around, not switched on, not locked in, not dialed in, then they target you, and they get a turnover, or they spoil the ball, or they push you onto your scrum off or something like that. So those were the 2 crucial moments in my opinion. Looking at the players that stood out for me for Wales, Thomas Williams, how good was he? He was really good. That guy's got a great pass, and got a cannon foot there. Some nice clearance kicks from the base of the ruck. So I'm impressed with Thomas Williams. He was good. Ellis Mee, youngster on the wing there, looks like he's about 18, should be in high school still. What a great game he had. I was impressed with Ellis Mee. As mentioned, Wilgriff John and Nicky Smith. Wilgriff John, saw him play a bit for Sale Sharks this year. I was impressed with him then already. That Sale front row is doing very well. I mean, they gave the Stormers a hiding in Cape Town. You know, that Stormers with a Springbok, a lot of Springboks in the front row. So Wilgriff John, impressed with him. Great moustache. He stood out for me even in loose play. Tommy Reffel and Jack Morgan on the sides of the scrum. Yeah, they were good. They got stuck into the breakdowns. They were good. Got through a ton of work, both of them. Even carried well, but I like those 2. I like a combination, in fact, with Falatau running hard lines out in the wider channels. He carried well. Not the youngest player anymore, Falatau, but he carried like a champion. He really kept smashing that Irish defensive line. He had a great game too. So I like that loose trio. Reffel, Falatau, and then obviously Jack Morgan, Captain Morgan. So they stood out for me for Wales. In terms of Anscombe, you know, it's not like he did something spectacular. And yeah, he probably, if I got to compare him to Prendergast, Prendergast was better, you know. But maybe like the Welsh attack seemed to have a bit of rhythm again. And I looked at the shape. It didn't look like the shape was like wildly different to what they were doing. You know, they had the pullback passes and the block lines and the stacked attack, but it didn't look that much different, I must be honest. But it just seemed to have a bit of rhythm. You know, they were coming onto the ball, they were running hard, and so you got to give Anscombe a bit of credit. He did have a good game. He had a solid game, and maybe his organisational play in that Welsh attacking line is what made the difference, because they seem to have their timing and their rhythm back with that attacking shape. So well done, Anscombe. You had a good game. Looking at the Irish players that were good, the Manhattan Mauler, Joe McCarthy, I thought he was good. It was an important game for him before the British and Irish Lions series. He's one of the contenders, and I think there's room for a couple of locks more. So Joe McCarthy, I was impressed with him. Good game. Got stuck in, ran hard, did the hard donkey work at the breakdowns, made his tackles. Set piece was good. So happy with Joe McCarthy's play. Jack Conan, he's been brilliant off the bench. You know, for the first 2 rounds. Now with Doris's injury, he's coming to the starting lineup, and he hasn't looked back. Conan, what a great game, and so super impressed with Conan. They could both go on tour with the Lions, Doris and Conan. So very impressed with Jack Conan. Prendergast, this young man, he can become the best fly in the world. He's got everything. This game, particularly his tactical kicking, stood out for me. I thought his tactical kicking was incredible. His contestable kicks, going for the 50-22s, and then just making sure he's kicking his crucial kicks at goal as well. Yeah, and the rest of his game was also good. Yeah, he got in line for a few big tackles. He got bowled over once, I think. But other than that, he was brave on defence, and he ran that attack beautifully. He's a classy fly-off. Pendergast, man, yeah, I'm worried about this guy breaking Springbok hearts in future. He's very, very good. Van der Fleer, as always mentioned, this guy never has a bad game. Never has a bad game. Josh van der Fleer, what a great player. So he didn't disappoint. He was good again. Tideburn, same thing. This guy, he's a big unit, but he might be the best tall guy. He might be the best 2-meter player at breakdown time. What this guy does at the breakdowns is incredible. He's got so much skill. This guy can jackal, he can counteract. He's very smart, decision making at the breakdown. So Tideburn, incredible player. He had another good game there. James Lowe, always good. Yeah, James Lowe is fantastic, strong. That thunderous left boot of his is worth gold. So James Lowe had another cracking game. And then Osborne at the back in place of Hugo Keenan. Ireland are building some good depth, because Osborne was solid. He made one blunder. Probably should have been a try. He threw a bit of a shocking pass to the last man. I think it might have been, who was that on the end there? Anyway, he fluffed the pass, which probably should have been a try. So he made one mistake, but other than that, Osborne was really good. And then Jamison Gibson-Park, as mentioned, this guy's world class player. His timing of picking runners from the base is just incredible. It looks like he's got so much time on the ball, and maybe he's the best scrum half in the world when it comes to actually putting players away. You know, Dupont is incredible, ball in hand and actually running with the ball, and maybe cross kicks. You know, Dupont's a little bit better as well with those contestable kicks. But in terms of actually feeding players and driving an attacking system, the composure, the time, the vision that Jamison Gibson-Park has, he's probably the best in the world at that. And so he stood out as well for me. So all in all, that was a great test match. I'm impressed with the standard of rugby there, and I look forward to the next couple of rounds. I thought, this is pretty much how I thought it would pan out. I thought Ireland would win. I thought the first half would be tight, and then I actually thought the Irish would run away with it a bit in the second half, which they didn't. And so credit to Wales. They hung in there, and they were in it all the way, probably up until the 70th minute. It was still 18-all. They could have pulled it out the fire. So well done, Wales, and good to see you back playing competitive rugby. And well done, Ireland. You guys are good. You're a very good rugby nation. And this team of yours is probably the best Irish team we've seen. It's the best Irish team I've ever seen. And so what a great game. And I look forward to the next round. See you from sunny Durban.